Hello everybody and welcome to the video for level 1-3. We're going to be continuing our discussion on offbeats. And you know what? I could just tell when you watched the last video in a room somewhere far away from where I am that you just really wanted to continue talking about offbeats. It would make you really happy. How do I know that? Well, let's just say it's just an ancient band director secret. Secret of the pros, if you will. So don't worry about how I know. I just know, and your dreams will be coming true right now. We're gonna keep talking about offbeats. So get excited. Here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so the first example here is actually something that looks very similar to the kind of examples in the last video. So this is kind of a review. What I want you to do is pause the video now and figure out the counting. Alright, and then there's your counting. Now what I would like you to do is pause the video again and try and do this rhythm on your own. Maybe tap the beat as you do it, like you've heard the metronome do in some other videos. Okay, assuming that you just tried this on your own, let's try and do it together. Here we go. 2, ready, go. 1, N, 4. 1, N, 4. Ta, 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 ta. In this case, we have rests on the start of beat 2 and the start of beat 3, hence the 8th rest there. Okay, so this next example has some awkward combination of rests, like you got this 8th rest right next to a quarter rest, which may seem a little daunting at first, but what I like to do when I'm trying to figure out these types of rhythms is figure out where each beat is, or what lies within each beat. So we got 4 beats in a measure, because the time signature says there, and the quarter note gets the beat. So let's figure out where those lie in this rhythm here. So the first beat is comprised of this 8th rest and 8th rest and 8th note. That's beat 1. Okay. Beat 2 is easy. This quarter rest takes care of all of beat 2. All right. Then beat 3 is another 8th rest, 8th note combination. There's beat 3. And beat 4 is easy again. It's just a simple quarter rest. You're being silent for that entire beat. So that's where the 4 beats of the measure lie, but that's not exactly what we would count if we were to ask to count the actual rhythm, because the actual rhythm are just these 2 8th notes here. So where do they lie within that? So look at beat 1. You start with an 8th rest, so that means that the 8th note is on the and of 1. Okay, beat 2 is already taken care of. We're resting for that amount of time. Beat 3 is the same exact situation. 8th rest starts it out, and then we play or say or count on the and of 3. Okay, so since we worked it out, let's get that stuff on the bottom. Let's take that out of there. And now let's actually try and count this rhythm. 2, ready, go. And, ta, 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 ta. Okay, so a different example, and yet again, kind of an awkward combination of some rests and some weird spots. Really more just right there. So let's talk about that. And let's actually do the same strategy we did last time, where we just kind of map out where all the beats are, right? So beat 1 is from this this 8th note to this 8th rest. That's beat 1. Beat 2 just picks up right up there like it always does. 8th rest and the 8th note. That's beat 2. Beat 3 is just this quarter rest, and then lastly beat 4 is an 8th note, 8th rest. So we figured that out together. What I want you to do on your own now is, again, just figure out what you would put for counting up here before I show you. So pause the video and check that out. Okay, there's the counting, and let's try and do this rhythm together. Ready? 2, ready, go. 1, and 4. Ta, ta, ta. Now I want to do that again actually, but let's take the bottom stuff out so you can kind of see it like you normally would in a piece of music or on a rhythm worksheet. And let's try that again. Again, it's really important to know where each of the beats start. Beat 1 is here, beat 2 starts here, beat 3 is here, and beat 4 starts there, right? Here we go. 2, ready, go. 1, and 4. Ta, ta, ta. All right, next example. Maybe you can see the difference between this one and the other ones already. We are in 3/4 time signature now. The quarter note is still the thing that gets the beat or is assigned the beat, but here we only have 3 beats per measure, right? We've seen this before, but Another thing we've seen before, but just not in a while, is this top hat looking thing. Well, what the heck is that, right? That's actually just a half rest. It gets the same amount of time as a half note, but you're just resting or being silent for that same amount of time. So what I'd like to start with, again, is just kind of mapping out where the beats lie within this this rhythm here. So that half rest takes care of both beats 1 and 2. So I guess I'll just kind of do that. That's beats 1 and 2, on that one little symbol there. Beat 3 is this 8th rest, followed by the 8th note. On to the next measure, back to beat 1, 8th rest, followed by an 8th note. A full quarter rest for full beat 2, and then lastly beat 3 is another 8th rest followed by an 8th note. So there you have it. Now, just like I've asked before, I'd like to ask you what the counting would be here before I show you. Go ahead and do that. Pause the video. And there's the counting. You also may want to just write down something like this, just so you are more aware of how many beats are happening within all the silence or all the rests, and kind of where everything lies. And that's completely fine. A lot of people do that to kind of help themselves, including myself. Alright, so let's perform this a bunch of times to kind of just test our understanding. So here we go. 2, ready, go. And. I get on ta. Ready, go. Ta. 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 Alright, so I took that bottom info away. In this case, it's really important to make sure you understand how many beats are happening within this amount of silence, right? 1, 2, start of 3, and then the and on the end of 3. So here we go. 2, ready, go. And. One more time. Now, as you saw, I took away all of the kind of the implied beats of silence up on our counting on top. 2, ready, go. And. Okay, last example of the video. We're back in 4/4 time signature, 4 beats in a measure. What I want you to do is I want you to figure out this stuff. Where does beat 1 end? Where does beat 2 start? Do that for the entire 2 measures and see if you can do it on your own before I show you. Pause the video, check it out. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully you did that, and let's check your work. Beat 1 is here. Beat 2 there. Beat 3. Beat 4. Next measure. Beat 1. Beat 2. Beat 3. And lastly, beat 4. Okay, next, figure out the counting on top. You know the drill. Pause the video. I'll see you in a second. Okay, there's the counting, and let's actually perform this. 2, ready, go. And 2. And. I get on ta. Ready, go. Ta. Ta, ta. Ta. Okay, I'm going to take away the bottom information again. And before we try this again, I actually want to talk about beat 2. What if we change that 8th note, 8th rest combination to just a plain old quarter note? How would that sound differently? Well, this should be review, but I just want to talk about it still. Because that's a quarter note now, that just means it's going to last for the entirety of beat 2, the entire beat 2, as opposed to the 8th note, 8th rest, which kind of didn't last for as long, right? There was a bit of silence after the note and before beat 2 ended. I keep talking about this because it's really important that you understand the difference when you perform this for me for these rhythm sheets, or when you just see this in music anyway, which is the end result. That's the ultimate goal, is to perform the music more accurately. All right, one last time. Let's see how that chord note changes things. 2, ready, go. And 2. And. Again on ta. Ready, go. Ta. Ta, ta, ta. Alright everybody, that's the video. If you need any extra help on this, please track me down. Otherwise, good luck on the rhythm sheet. Looking forward to hearing you guys do these offbeats.